Hey folks, I'm Dutch Doll. I'm the host of Dutch Doll Discussions. What's going on? It's Friday. It's get ready for the weekend. Everybody's got plans. I'm going away this weekend. Yeah, a couple blocks away from my house the other night. An EMT attached to the hospital where I had my heart attack was shot in back of the ambulance by a patient. I was wrong. I said it was a war on cops. Apparently in New York City, it's a war on anybody wearing a blue uniform. Stay tuned for the next 15 minutes. Watch the story. Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. Tell me if you like it. Leave a comment. Share, like, and subscribe. I'll see you on the other side.
After police say he was shot in the back in Staten Island as he transported the shooter in the ambulance.
And now we're learning more about the weapon used by the alleged shooter, who bailed from the emergency vehicle and then tried to run. Eyewitness News reporter Sonia Rincon has the story.
The ambulance was on its way back here to Richmond University Medical Center after a routine call from a bar that turned into a terrifying close call for the EMT, who ended up needing to be transported back here in the ambulance as a patient. The report of a disorderly person came from the Funky Monkey Lounge. The EMTs knew the man was intoxicated, but they didn't know he was armed. Police say he pulled out this .38 caliber handgun on the way to the hospital and shot the EMT in the shoulder. Forest Avenue became a crime scene at around 8 last night as the suspect jumped out and ran, but didn't get far.
The male was quickly apprehended by a retired NYPD detective and an off-duty Department of Sanitation Environmental Protection hazmat lieutenant.
The suspect is being held at the 120th Precinct Station House. Charges are pending for 37-year-old Thomas McCauley. Police say he had a past interaction with them when he was reported as emotionally disturbed. They're investigating what he was doing with that gun, which obviously still worked despite being held together with electrical tape. Neighbors of the Funky Monkey say it's scary to think what could have happened at the bar.
Guns have got to stop coming off the streets.
You never know who has a gun.
You never know who has a gun, is right. And, you just go to an establishment to have a couple of drinks and frequent with your friends and everything, and next thing you know, somebody's in the bar with a gun.
As for the wounded 25-year-old EMT,
The driver of the ambulance then transported her injured partner to Richmond University Medical Center, where he's currently in stable condition.
the hospital says he should be released this afternoon and will probably get some applause from fellow first responders, relieved he survived.
We have to correct some things on that newscast. We really do. He was shot in back of the ambulance in his shoulder. Not shot in the back of the ambulance like they made it sound. Living in that area for the last 25 years before my house burned down, I know the bar very well. It's called the Funky Monkey. Owned by a mobster's wife. Remember Big Ange on Mob's Wives? The big lips. I talk like this. Husband work for sanitation. No, private sanitation. Sanitational custodian, consultant, what the fuck it was, the mobsters used back in the day. Yes, it was owned by Big Edge. She is recently deceased. And we can turn the whole Big Edge thing into where I worked in gang, because we arrested her son for dealing oxycodone out of the house. I remember hitting the search warrant, and it was a really, really nice house. Funny that it's all connected over there. Big Ange's house is a block up from Richmond University Medical Center. It really is. It's on the next block, and he was dealing. We tried to prove a connection with the hospital. We couldn't get, the guy wouldn't give it up. But anyway, not for nothing. We hit the door early in the morning. Big Ange sitting there. Whoa, my God, my son. Your son's under arrest, right? It was just an arrest warrant and search warrant for his room and whatnot. Big Ange, you ever see Goodfellas? She spit on the floor. Who spits on the floor of their own house? You clean it up. I mean, really, like it was, yeah, well. The Funky Monkey, swear to Christ, the name of the bar. Big Ange husband, I think he's incarcerated or he passed away, one of the two. And rumor is that she was dating one of the bartenders, barbacks, go to Bob Wives, watch it, get your fill of Big Ange. I know some people live and die by her, but I hated the woman. I really did. So, at this time, 7:40 p.m., call comes over the radio for a drunken disorderly in front of the Funky Monkey. Thomas McCauley's there, fucking shit-faced. 9 times out of 10, an RMP will respond before the ambulance gets there, deal with the drunk, either give him his walking papers or call for a bus to come in ambulance, and they'd help him load it up on, depending if the guy was combative or not, the cop would take the ride to the hospital where the other cop followed in the car. Here's what you don't get from experience, people. Here's where experience goes out the window. Most veteran cops, even though the guy's a patient, we toss him. I've always tossed every patient before I put him on the ambulance. Just for something like this. I was told by an old timer. Matter of fact, I was on Church and Nostrand one day, and we just drove into a shooting. I remember there was a lieutenant there, big black guy, Henry. I love the guy. Guy loved me. I love the guy. He never had to deal with my paperwork, never had to deal with my bullshit. We got along well. He needed somebody to go through a building, into a window. I'm like, I'll do it. I don't give a fuck. So, kid shot, middle of Church and Nostrand, maybe like 6-7 years ago. Guy's DOA. I mean, he is DOA. Dead on arrival, dead as a doornail. Where you going? Nowhere! That kind of thing? Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I had going on that day.
Guys are stumbling through the alley. Toora-loora-loora. This guy takes a blunt object, fucking whack! Hits the guy with the bandages around his head, right? Why? Because he's smart. He knows the guy with the bandages around his ass, he ain't going nowhere. He's going fucking nowhere. Where you going? Nowhere. That's right.
That's right, the young man was going nowhere. But I tossed the body anyway. Either way, a sector call would have gone to the hospital. I tossed the body and I remember Lieutenant yelling, "Yo, the Ghoul Squad's here!" And it was a joke between us. And I rolled the guy and killed him with a burner. Well, I guess this wasn't the innocent victim we thought he was. Possibly could he have been trading shots with the guy? Maybe this could have been a gun battle going on, Lou? You got me. But it's every aided case, every DOA, you give him a quick toss, may have a gun on him, may have fentanyl on him, you don't want to go in the ambulance, killing the ambulance crew, right? Right. But New York City has the 911 system, where private ambulances from hospitals are also tasked with FDNY EMT jobs. They go too. Who's ever closest goes. It's a way it's a force multiplier. It's exactly what it is. It's a force multiplier. We can have ambulances in scene depending where they are within 5 minutes. Seriously. In Staten Island, it's a little bit different. I mean, like I said, I lived in that area for 25 years before the house burned down. Familiar with the family. Familiar with the fucking bar. I'm familiar with all the mobsters around that place. It was not one of my local watering holes. I went to the cop bar north of Kill Road, Big Nose Kate's. Funny story about Big Nose Kate's. It was a drug bar. Fucking the Hells Angels or some biker gang, Chinglings or something, ran that bar for years. They had nuisance abated, and retired New York cop, the Conex detective from OCCB, bought the bar. And he turned it into a cop bar. You walk in there and love that bar. So, yeah, this young man doing his shift, probably a heavy night. Well, it was Wednesday night. How fucking heavy could it be? No RMP was there, or RMP came and left already, and they picked up Tommy McCauley. Fucking Mick. Tommy McCauley, who was drunk and disorderly, which, if he was just drunk and disorderly, he didn't need to go to the hospital. It was a police job, not an EMT job. But the EMT was going to hook him up, throw him in a gurney, take him back to the ER, hit him with a banana bag, and a couple hours later, he should sobered up. But Tommy wasn't going to have it. Tommy wanted his buyback from the monkey. So they put him in a gurney, put him in the bus. In back of the bus, he produces a POS. Yes, a piece of shit. 38 held together by tape. I have a picture of it right here. That piece of shit gun puts around in the fucking EMT's shoulder in the back of the ambulance. Not in the back of just he gets shot in the shoulder. Perp gets up, goes at the back of the ambulance. He runs. Driver pulls over, checks on his partner. Boom, they hit the light sirens. They go flying out of fucking Rumsey. Richmond University Medical Center. That's what Rumsey stands for. On the way there, I'm not going to take anything away from this kid. Not at all. But he calls his mother. Well, kid, if it happens again, that's the last phone call you make. Just don't let the parents. But he's a young kid. I mean, he's a rookie he would be on our job. But loved ones are the last ones you call if you're not going to go out of the picture. Kid's a hero. Kept his head. Didn't go screaming. He's released from the hospital already. Shoulder injury. He's not going to get 3/4, but he'll heal. But he'll never do that again. He'll let the RMP check the scene before he gets there, or he'll toss the perp, or the victim, or the aided, or where the fuck he is. Nobody knows anymore. Good guy's gonna wear white. Bad guy's gonna wear black. You can't even fucking tell. You need a scorecard, a program to tell who the players are anymore. Remember back in the old days, the guys with the guns, with the red bandanas, the blue bandanas shooting at each other? Those were the bad guys. The guys in the blue uniforms, we were the good guys. Not so anymore. Not so. Businessmen could cause more trauma and drama with a briefcase and a pen than any bad guy can with a gun. But now we have active shooters out there. The game has totally changed. It definitely has changed. And that's what helped me get through 21 years of the NYPD. Treating it like it was a game. I enjoyed my job. I enjoyed what I did. But experience. Your Honor. Mayor Adams. Madam Commissioner. You need to retain that experience. You need to get the retention. You need to retain these guys. That's your bread and butter right there. Not the rookies coming out. The old guys. That is your bread and butter. But, everything's different now. Well, I'm going to throw up some still shots. Not that anybody knew who I was, but somebody took a lot of pictures of my house and around the area, so everybody knows. You may even recognize some of the area. Oh, here you go. Let's roll through these. I'm not taking anything away from the kid. The kid really is a hero. Kept his head. Did his job the way he was supposed to. Good work. Here's your attaboy from me. If you see the kid, there's a good picture of him. If you live in Staten Island, you see him in the street, thank him for his service. At such a young age to take on a burden like that is notable. It is very notable. And remember, this New York cop, this retired New York cop, told you the crime rate's up, and anybody who wants to turn around and tell me that I'm wrong and I'm not being truthful, I'm inflating it, open the Daily News, open the New York Post, open the New York Times. Sometimes there's even crime in the Wall Street Journal. It's all there. I don't care that you're reading the FBI report, the DOJ report. It's called the Uniform Crime Report, by the way. That's what we call it, Uniform Crime Report. I can call the precinct, walk into any precinct, and get the stats that are not massaged. I may have a little bit of closer... You believe what you want to believe, I'll believe what I want to believe. But remember, when you tell me crime is not on the rise in New York City, I'm like this. Anyway, folks, it's Friday. These are my discussions. I want you all to enjoy your weekend. I will see you again on Monday. To everybody in uniform doing their jobs, put your head on a fucking swivel, grow eyes behind your head because they're out to get us all. I'm not trying to sound paranoid. It's not really paranoia if they're really out to get you, is it? No, it isn't. Guys, till next time, have a great fucking day.
Welcome to the land of fuck.